Hi, I am JW Koester, and I am the Corps Director of the Mandarins, and I've been the Corps Director since 2016.
So, how long have you been involved with the Mandarins or the Drum Corps activity in general? And talk about your history with the Mandarins specifically.
I have been involved with the Drum Corps activity since 1969. So, yes, it's been quite a while. I've actually been involved and engaged with the Mandarins on and off for about 30 years. So, way back in the day, when I first got out of being a marching member, I went into judging. And so I actually was judging on the West Coast. So I got to judge the Mandarins a few times. And at one point in time, the director, Ray Marr, asked if I would come out to a Mandarin's rehearsal and talk with the instructional staff about how show design was going, things like that, from my perspective as a judge. And so that, if you will, started a long relationship. A few years later, I became the director of the Vanguard Cadets. And of course, the Vanguard Cadets and the Mandarins were very competitive organizations on the field and very great friends off the field. We often stayed at the same housing sites. So we did that for a few years. And then I went off and did some different things again. And then once Jim Tabucci took over as the Corps Director, he kept asking me, when are you going to come work with the Mandarins? And I kept saying, well, you know what? I have a job. What do you want me to do? Whatever you want. I said, Jim, doesn't work for me. You got to give me a job. So one day he calls up and says, JW, I want you to be the Corps Director. And so that's when I had to go, okay, he's serious. So talking with my wife, who is very involved with all the things that I do drum corps wise, she said, sure, why not? So yes, in the fall of 2015, I became the director of the Mandarins and have been so ever since.
Why did you become involved either with the Mandarins or Drum Corps? And then why have you stayed involved with the Mandarins?
Why did I get involved in drum corps? Well, to be very blunt, I was actually in the Boy Scouts. And in the Boy Scouts, to get out of being a tenderfoot, you actually have to be able to tie knots. And I could not tie all the knots that were required to get out of being a tenderfoot. So I was going to be a tenderfoot forever. I had been taking drum lessons, um, drum set lessons, which I was not good at, but my instructor told me that there's other things out there. And then at the same time, a guy that my dad worked with knew I was taking drum set lessons. He goes, you should come down to Spartan Stadium and see this cool drum corps show. My dad goes, I don't know what a drum corps is, but okay. So we went down, we saw, I think it was one of the original Pacific processions, or maybe even pre-Pacific procession. And I saw these marching bands doing this crazy stuff, and I just fell in love. I said, that's what I want to do. So I stopped being a Boy Scout. I gave my rope back, uh, got involved with drum corps, and I've been there ever since. I love the passion. I love the intensity. I love the the strive to be excellent, and just meeting all the people. And the travel ain't bad either. I mean, of course, I've seen more states late at night when it's dark, but I can say I've been to them. And to this day, working with the Mandarins, it's still those things. It's the passion that I have to be able to give something back to the organization, and to be able to work with amazing instructional staff and volunteers. But most importantly, it's the young members. It's our young people that are doing their best to be the best that they can. And that if there's anything that I can do to help them, that's what I want to do. And seeing the look on their face when they've been successful at something, that they've been trying and they've been struggling and they hit that successful moment, the look on their face is amazing. Watching the drum corps come off the field after having an amazing performance and the audience acknowledges them, scores or not, I don't care, just the acknowledgement that the crowd says, you people were amazing. That still, it gets me going every day.
Is there any other parting thoughts, words of encouragement after the last year? Anything else you would want people to know on this March 4th?
I really want to say a little bit about 2021. A little bit that, obviously, circumstances being what they need to be, we're going to be out on the football field. We're going to be there. There's some folks who, well, obviously there's some organizations who have decided that they're not able to do that. But for the Mandarins, we are. Our intent is to put a great product on the field. It's our intention to give our members the best experience possible. Something that is the closest to a normal drum corps season. 2021 for the Mandarins organization is going to be amazing. The design team is not letting up. They're putting together an amazing show. The technical caption heads are going to give the members great training, and we're going to give those audiences a pretty phenomenal experience. So yeah, there's no judging. I got it. But you know what? The Mandarins, and again, based on what we think we can do, we got to do it safely. First and foremost, we got to be safe for our members, for our staff, our volunteers. So our organization has to be safe. But having said that, we're going to put on a great show. We're going to travel some. Yeah, we're going to travel. We're going to be on a bus. We're going to do some long runs. But you know what? We're going to be able to perform in front of audiences, and we're going to give our organization an opportunity to show the world what we can do once again. So we're not letting up. No offense, we're not doing a Stars and Stripes block formation across the field. We're putting together a show that is absolutely going to be just as challenging and as exciting and as enjoyable as the last 4 or 5 years that we've been doing. So nothing's changing. The only thing is no judges and a lot more masks. But the Mandarins are going to be out on that field in 2021, and we're going to rock the house.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And people say, well, this is tough. This is tough to do. It's tough to do in a normal year. Isn't it more difficult? And the answer is yes, it is a little bit more difficult. But what we do inherently as being a drum corps is difficult. The logistics on the backside, finding the members, finding the staff, putting a show together. All those things are difficult no matter what.
Yep.
This is another layer. Got it. But if there's anything that we do well, we handle logistics really well. Drum corps, that's what we have to do. You put people together for 80 days, you got to be able to handle logistics. And the COVID, and yes, it's serious, absolutely serious stuff. But if there's one thing we know how to do, it's how to manage those logistics. And for all of us, it's going to be different. Food prep, food service is going to be different. How we rehearse, how much we rehearse, where we rehearse, going to be different. We're going to wear masks? Yes, we are. Is it going to be limited? Do you get to run off campus every time you want to grab a burger or a soda or deodorant or toothpaste? Nope. We got to be smart. We absolutely have to be smart. We have to be smart in spring training. We have to be smart when we're traveling on the buses. We got to be smart at the shows. But we got smart people. And we have people who are passionate about wanting to do it. So it's going to be cool. As long as we're smart, as long as we're safe, again, same thing. We're going to rock the house. I think we have to be more prepared up front this year. We do have to be more prepared. Have you been vaccinated? Okay. And what's our protocols? We got to do all kinds of extra stuff up front. But once we get in our bubble, you know what? It's the same thing. Wake up at this time. You're on the football field here. Lunch is now. Dinner time, you're on the secondary field. Lights out are at this time. So
certain things won't change.
Certain things don't change.
Yeah.
A lot of the little things do. So I really think we're going to be able to give everybody a great experience. They're going to say, yeah, this was a drum corps experience. I experienced drum corps.